Most 16 to 21-year-olds are going to be spending the next decade recovering from financial decisions they didn't even know they were making. But not you, because in this video, I'm going to show you how to avoid this. So why should you even listen to me? I'm a 21-year-old economics graduate student, music producer, and fitness coach, actively building multiple income streams while most people our age are still figuring out what they want to do. So I'm not here to teach you something I read from a book, but rather I'm here to teach you exactly what I'm living right now. So here's our first point. And don't worry if you can't see it right now. We're gonna have a little screenshot for you after each point is made. So the first point that I want you to remember is that you didn't choose your starting point, but you definitely choose how you end. So we have this nice little graph here, and on our little x-axis is time. On our y-axis, we got money. So for most of us, unless you were born into a trust fund or, you're born in a rich family or something like that, or you somehow had crypto in the womb or something, most of us didn't have that. So from this point, 0, this is all in years. So 0 is our birth, all the way to 18. So this is all your life as a youngin, as a kiddo, as a jit. So as you can see here, for the average person, a lot of your money is kind of plateauing. When you're a kid, you're sort of dependent on your family, you're sort of dependent on school, things of that sort. You're not given a lot of opportunities to make as much money as you can. But you can see you make a little bit, maybe you have a little lemonade stand or something. Maybe once you get to about 14, 15, you have a little summer job. So, we'll kind of make a little bit of those marks here. Maybe 14 or 16, you had a job. Maybe when you were like 5, had like a lemonade stand or something, But once we hit 18 and our good old federal government claims that you're an adult, everything from that point on is up to you. And so as you see, from 18 all the way here, what we want is to be able to be moving upward. That's the goal. So it doesn't mean that you have to have everything figured out right away at 18. But every year from that point on, we want to be getting better and better. So whether that means you decide to get into the workforce and you start to stack up your bread, or whether that means you go to college, or you find some other way to make some income, develop some skills, maybe get into sales, or you just get into some sort of coaching or teaching sort of thing. Because those things are not limited by age. You don't have to be a super old girl to do anything, especially nowadays. But that's the point. We want to make sure that we're constantly building. So remember, you didn't choose your starting point, but you choose where you'll end. And so once you're 18, you choose your own path. Number 2, I want you to assume that you're going to live to be old as bleep someday, okay? Too many people think that when you turn like 15, 16, 17, you're like, oh my gosh, 25 is so old. Oh my gosh, 30 is so old. Oh my gosh, 40 is so old. But the thing is that it's really not. And I hate to break it to you, but assuming you're living in a first world country and you have access to healthcare, you have access to a doctor's office, healthy foods, things of that sort, the average life expectancy is a little over 75 years old. Dropped a little bit during COVID, but since then it's gone back up. So there's a good chance that if we go back to point 1 earlier, you're gonna probably hit this point up here. You're gonna hit this point, most likely. Or you may even get to here. That's about maybe 45, 50. Maybe we'll say this is about 70, whatever. So there's a good chance you are going to get to that point. The thing is that time will always continue moving. See this little clock right here? It's always going to continue moving. And so you have to understand that as you're getting into adulthood and stuff, that you can't make frivolous decisions. You can't make crazy decisions that are going to impact the amount of money that you can stack up and make. We want to look into assets, things that are going to help us make more money. These can be tangible or intangible. So if they're tangible, you can think of like, I mean, this is a little extreme right now, but maybe in the future you can think about real estate. That's like a tangible asset, right? Brick and mortar, living somewhere. Something that's intangible where you can't touch it is stocks. So getting to investing, right? And we want to think about the long-term benefits over the short-term gains. Short-term gains are just that, they're short-term, but we want to think long-term because we don't want to wake up one day and we're in our 50s or 60s or 70s and we're wondering like, oh my gosh, like, what did I do with my life? We don't want to be like that. So we want to think about the long term. Yeah, it's nice to have fun and stuff right now, but like I said, the time's going to pass. So you're having fun now, but we want to be able to have fun later on in life. We want to be able to have fun for longer. So always assume that you're going to live to be super old. And because of that, we want to make sure that we're making the right decisions now. So I have a question for you. Actually, I don't care. You can look at it. Who can take care of your old self? But I'm going to add to this question. Who can best take care of your old self? Who will take care of your old self, your old version, your older version in the best possible way? And the answer is you. And to even add on to that answer, the answer is your younger you. So you right now. And so one thing to consider is to build a strong foundation now, which you may be asking, okay, so you did tell me that my youth, all the things that happened in my youth aren't necessarily my fault, but I need to start building once I turn 18 and I'm a legal adult, okay? And then you also told me that I need to assume that I'm gonna live into old age, I'm gonna live for a relatively long time. Okay, I understand that. But what exactly should I be doing? And to that, I will say, you're very smart. Thank you for paying attention. And because I'm nice, I'm going to help you with that. I'm going to give you 3 points. Here's our first one. Follow the future. So, what do I mean by follow the future? One of the advantages that you have right now, one of the advantages that we have is we'll most likely live into the future. Another added advantage is that because of that, we have the opportunity to be more aware of this. And so you may hear a lot of things now about AI, right? AI and sort of these expectations and outlooks, right? So follow the future. Start learning about AI. Follow different forums. I'll try to link some in the description that you can check out. And you don't have to follow it daily unless you're really interested in those kinds of things, but just follow trends. And I'm not saying social media trends like, oh, what's the new TikTok dance? I'm talking about actual trends. What are those big name people doing? You know, what is Meta doing right now? What is Elon Musk doing? Things of that sort. I mean, this dude just became a trillionaire. He's the first ever trillionaire at this point of the filming of this video. So, I mean, maybe pay attention to some of the things that he's doing, right? And so the reason why you want to follow the future is so you can start to look at how you can adapt these things into your own life if you want to, right? So we want to pay attention to what's going to be happening later as opposed to what happened in the past. Second point, learn skills. Learn skills, learn skills, learn skills. There's so many things you can learn. There are so many ways you can learn, right? This thing of research, which is what you're doing right now, right? Watching a video or reading a book. these are the sort of sources that you should be tapping into to learn different skills. Find mentors in your community or find mentors online. Find people that can take you under their wing and show you different things, show you things such as how to do sales, how to record videos, how to make thumbnails, um, how to work on other skills that aren't necessarily in social media, but you can incorporate within social media, right? Like I said in my intro earlier, I'm a musician. I play multiple instruments. I've played with multiple bands. I've played in multiple venues. So that's a skill I can use. And I use that being a music teacher, right? Or if you've been, trying to get shredded for the summer or something like that, you know, those are skills that you can learn, that you can use. And we want to learn skills because from those skills, we can make more money, right? Going to school is a way to get skills, but you don't have to just go to school to get skills. So keep that in mind. So we want to follow the future. We want to be aware of future trends, and we want to learn more skills. The more skills you have, the more versatile you are, the better you'll be. And lastly, we want to use time to our advantage. That's one of the great things that we have. You probably have parents or older people in your life that say, things along the lines of, man, you're so young, man, you're so young. Like, you have so much time on your side, dude. And for the most part, it's true. But don't use that as a way to be like, oh, shoot, well, if I got time to my advantage, I can just, sit around and not do anything, be a bum. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. But instead, understand that advantage, right? One of the great concepts that I encourage you all to learn, I probably won't dive into it too much in this video, maybe in another video, is compound interest. So do some research on compound interest, right? Learn about the advantage, the relationship and advantages that you get between time and money. That time and money relationship is really important, right? Taking your money and finding ways to build on top of that money is what's going to help you. Taking the time to learn skills is going to serve a great purpose for you in the future. And it's hard because, your friends are probably out partying, especially if you just graduated high school right now. Like, you're still in high school, you got some parties here and there, but, your main thing is like prom, homecoming, stuff like that. But if you just graduated college right now, and I know it's summer, we're in the middle of summer, I know it's going to be so hard to not want to go out as much. You probably had a summer job, you probably saved up a lot of money. You're like, man, I feel like I'm rich. I saved up all this money, I want to go out and stuff. But once again, short-term gains, right? Short-term enjoyment. Well, we want long-term enjoyment. I want you guys to be 30, 40, 50, 60. You can party as much as you want because in your teens and your 20s, you were grinding your ass off. So understand that time is on your side, but what are you going to do with that time? We want to be working on ourselves, right? So remember, you didn't choose your starting point, but that's okay, because as long as you assume that you're going to be old, super old one day before you die, then you understand that, okay, I need to do everything in my power now to help my older self, so that when I die, I can die with no regrets, have a big old family, or whatever you want, or you could say, I was able to travel, whatever you want to do. But it starts today.